We are people who are called to be lovers, to be lovers. Love, it turns out, St. Paul would say, is the very best way for us to organize our lives. Let love be the beginning of everything, and to put that as a first priority in our lives, to love. And the Italians have a great phrase. They say for love, if you're falling in love with a girl, it's innamorato. But if you're in love with somebody that you really care about and you want the best for, they say volere bene, ti voglio bene, which means I want the very best for you. And I think we might have that in the back of our minds as we hear Paul talk about love. That love is wanting the very best for people. The other thing to keep in our minds as we listen to this reading is to recognize what St. John tells us often, and we see often through the Gospels, that God is love. And so whenever St. Paul says love is, he might just as easily say God is, and hope that we could also say, and we are. And we are. And so it goes like this. God is patient, he says. Love is patient. Isn't it nice to know that our God is patient with us? Love is kind. Would you want anything but a kind God? Would you want anything but a model of how you should act, but kindness? It is not jealous. So easy for us to fall into jealousy. It is not pompous, show it off and looking good and trying our best to be in the front of everything. It's not inflated. It's not rude. When we're puffed up about ourselves, we put on a big show. It's all about how we look. When we're preoccupied about me, that ain't love. That ain't love. Love, he says, does not seek its own interests. Boy, isn't that hard? Isn't it hard to put the concern and care and needs of other people in front of our own? And yet that's what Paul says. God does not seek his own interest. It's not quick-tempered, thank goodness. We got a God that's not quick-tempered. It doesn't brood over injuries. Thank God God doesn't remember. Because if God remembered with a memory that brooded over injury, we'd all be lost. We'd all be lost. He doesn't count or remember forever the hurts that others might cause. And hopefully, we can say that about ourselves as well. And it does not rejoice in wrongdoing. That's gossip. That's what gossip's about. We're concerned with the bad others do or the misfortune that befalls them, what happens to them, and we somehow kind of rejoice in our hearts just a little when they get what's coming. You say, I hope they get what's coming. God is fortunately not like that. God rejoices with the truth. God bears all things. Love bears all things. Love believes all things, willing to bear the burden of suffering. Love hopes all things. Love endures all things. Love, Paul says, never fails. God never fails us. The gifts, he says, do not last. They come and they go, the prophecies and the interpretations and the knowledge. When God is at the center, everything else passes by.